Welcome to the Real Estate Corner. My name is Shad Bogany. The numbers here are 281-837-2222. We're here on KWWJ 1360 AM and Iconic TV 15.10. If this is your first time listening to this show, we're here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15. We were having some technical difficulties here, and we're still going through them, but hopefully if you're sitting in your car, you can hear us pretty clear. 96.9 is the FM station you can listen to us on. But we're going to be talking about insurance tonight. We've got an open line tonight, and I thought I've been getting a few emails from people saying, hey, Shad, what's going on with insurance? What's the deal with insurance? And so I decided that we're going to kind of delve into insurance. I am not a homeowner's insurance person. I'm not an insurance agent. I've not taken any exams on insurance, but I've done a little research, and that's always real good to be able to do some research on homeowners insurance. So I'm going to start off tonight. And by the way, let me thank my sponsors, Prosperity Bank and American Title and the Buffalo Soldier National Museum. Numbers here again, 281-837-2222. So what's going on with insurance? How do you determine what insurance you're going to need? Well, there are 10 steps to find the right insurance. And the first one is decide what kind of coverage you need. There are different types of coverages in insurance policies. You have most mortgage companies will require that you have an insurance policy. They want a replacement cost type policy there, which will repair and rebuild if your house is destroyed. There is also an actual cash value policy that pays to rebuild or repair your home. Your agent can help you find which policy works for you. Keep in mind that the cash value policy to rebuild has a minus in depreciation. Let's go to number 2. Decide how much coverage you need. Make sure you have enough coverage to replace your home if it's destroyed. For example, if your home is a frame house, all wood, chances are if you have a fire, it's going to be completely destroyed. If you have a brick home or a hardy plank home, more than likely some of it is going to survive the fire. So you determine how much you're going to insure. You want to make sure you're at least covering your mortgage, but you also want to have enough money in there to rebuild your home. Get prices, quotes from several companies. What got this in, besides the emails I got the other day, is that I've gotten my insurance quote from my insurance company, and my insurance is coming up for renewal in April. Well, it's gone up $1,000 from what it was last year. And so that prompted me to start going around checking on insurance companies. The thing that I want you to be aware of, and you really need to think through this, a lot of people like the big box insurance companies, the ones you see advertised on TV, the ones that's holding hands, the ones that are jumping over in water, the ones that are silliest commercials that are there, but you remember this insurance company. Well, one of the things to keep in mind, to do insurance in the state of Texas, you have to have enough money in assets to be able to do that. So please shop around your insurance companies. Shop around, ask what the policy covers. The best policy for you to have is an HOB policy. But most insurance companies are giving you HO3s or lesser policies than that because they're trying to keep the cost down. So keep your insurance. Make sure that you shop around. Add up what your personal property is. Do you need to schedule things like jewelry, collections? You have more than one car. You may like antique cars or antique furniture or so on and so on. Make sure you get those scheduled. Get price quotes, and then you sit down and go over them and compare apples to apples. So what you're going to ask each insurance company for is a declaration page so you can be able to get that. But it's important that you get price quotes, and don't get pulled in that, you know, if you get your car with me, I can give you a discount. Well, you know, you got to look at both ends. Is the car insurance higher now than what the discount insurance would have been if you didn't have a car. So you got to look at all of those things. Look at the company's complaint record. And you can find this complaint record at the Texas Department of Insurance website. It's a good way to find out who's got good customer service and whether or not they have a whole bunch of complaints or they don't have a bunch of complaints. But do your research. And see, the thing about doing your research when you get ready to purchase a home, you've got 30 to 45 days to work on that. So you should take the time. This is a large investment that you guys are having, that you're putting your money in. And so you might want to take time to do that. Ask about discounts. When you're talking to insurance agents, I don't smoke. I've got fire alarms. I got cameras that I'm going to put in my house. I have an alarm system. Ask about discounts. Don't assume that the agent is going to give you those discounts. Ask about them. And it could change your rate. If you're over 65, you get a discount for that, for example. If you've not had a claim in 3 years, you may get a discount for that. So make sure that you ask for discounts there. The numbers here again are 281-837-2222. My name is Shad Bogany. You're listening to the Real Estate Corner, and we're going through the top 10 tips of picking the right insurance. Verify the company's license, and you can also do that through the Texas Department of Insurance, and you can also call their helpline, 1-800-252-3439, and that's with the Texas Department of Insurance. Avoid gap coverages in your insurance. Never cancel a policy until you got a new policy written that proves that you have coverage. Keep shopping it. If the company turns you down, you have trouble finding insurance, you can always call the Texas Fair Plan. That is the insurance policy for last resort. If we get to it tonight, we'll go in some depth in regards to that. The number is 1-800-979-6440. I don't care how mad you get at your insurance company, do not cancel that policy until you've had another policy put in place. Review your other types of insurance for your home. Depending on where you live or what you're insuring, you might need more coverage than the standard home policy to be fully covered. Flood insurance is cheaper when you don't need it. All flood policies are the same price with every insurance agent. They go by the flood maps. If you've got one that's lower than the other one, something's not right. So they maybe need to do an update on flood maps. So those are the questions that you have. Windstorm and hail insurance. If you live in Texas coast or Harris County on Galveston Bay, your home insurance will not cover windstorm. If you live in Pearland or Brazoria, for example, your home is not going to be covered, your windstorm is not going to be covered under your standard policy. So typically if you buy a house in Pearland, your insurance is almost doubled in those particular areas. If you're in Harris County and you're living down on the bay, you're going to have windstorm insurance there. Let's go to number 10, our last extra. Make sure you have, before we go to number 10, make sure you have extra coverage. We talked a little bit about that. And I started the segment off with jewelry, fine arts, other expensive items in your home. Also, you might want to look up for sewer backup or drain, mold coverage, leaks from plumbing, heating, air conditioning systems. All of these things, there's something that you might want to look at with your flood insurance. The numbers again are 281-837-2222. Also check with liability coverage. And liability coverage is really important. If somebody slips and falls, you have a tradesman fixing your roof and he falls off the roof. You have somebody working on your staircase, falls down. You have an event and somebody walks on something on your floor and slip. Make sure you got enough liability insurance and make sure your agent explains that to you. Know where to get your help. If you need more help, my number 10 item, call 1-800-252-3439. Let me repeat this again, 1-800-252-3439. 3439. My office is in Bel Air, but we work the whole city. We have a team of experts that can help you. Matter of fact, Jermaine Freeman is one of our team members. We've just brought on a new team member, Greg White, who's joining our team. We've got some other people that are in the process of coming on the team. My goal is to get the best people out there. We got Courtney Lott, who's one of our team members. We try to get the best people out there to help you and be who are service oriented, because it's important. I have nothing to sell to you but service. The numbers is 713-667-1000, 713-667-1000. Let's talk a little bit about renter's insurance. You know, on this show, I don't ever talk about rental insurance that much, or renting period, because I'm in the business of helping you build wealth. But let's just say you do have an apartment, and let's just say you are renting a house. You need to get renter's insurance. What does it cover? It covers your belongings, even stolen out of your car while you're traveling. A while back, I had a client of mine who did yard work, and he had his yard equipment in his truck. And he went somewhere, I think, to get lunch or something, went in, came back, all of his equipment was gone. It was covered under his rental policy there. Loss of use pays your additional living expenses. If you move out of the place for a short time because of damages, you're going to be covered with your renter's insurance. Personal liability. This protects you if someone is injured in your home and pays legal costs if you are liable and taken to court. Once again, you're in a rental house and you have a step-down living room, and somebody who's not familiar with your home steps down, breaks an ankle, falls, it hurts a knee, they're going to be covered under your renter's insurance. You've got a 2-story townhouse that you're renting. You're having guests spend the night, not familiar with your home, missed a step coming down. They would be covered under your renter's insurance. Floods are not included with rental insurance. You have to get a separate policy for flood insurance, but it is not included. Most renter policies will cover losses due to fire, smoke, theft, vandalisms, or certain kinds of water damage. They don't, however, cover loss due to flood. Know your policy limits. This is real important for renter's insurance. Know your policy limits. Some policy limits, payments for certain kinds of properties, common limits are $100 for cash, $2,500 for items used for business, $500 for jewelry and watches. So some of you who love jewelry and watches, you're going to say $500 is not going to cover it. That's why you should schedule those items, and you should be able to do that on a renter's policy. Always read the fine print. Always take time to read the fine print. Let's say you paid $1,300 for a laptop 2 years ago, but now the same kind of laptop is selling for $500. Basic rental policy would pay you $500 if that laptop was destroyed. You can buy a policy that will cover the replacement value, but it will cost a little bit more. Oh, let's say mom and dad have you covered. If you're dependent, your parents' homeowner's policy may cover your stuff even if you're not living at home. In that case, you may not need any renter's insurance. The coverage is usually limited to 10% of the personal property coverage on your homeowner policy. And guys, this is real important, and I would highly recommend that you take the time to go over it with your agent. Most real good insurance agents will call you once a year and go over your policy with you. Hey, what's going on with your policy? Is this working? What's working? Have you added on to your home? Have you updated your home? Have your husband gave you a new anniversary ring? You might want to check on that. Have you bought an antique truck? Have you bought antique furniture? You might want to do that. You've added a fur to your clothiers. Then you might want to make sure that you get that covered. Numbers again, 281-837-2222. Give us a call. All our lines are open, guys. You know, you can catch us on Saturday morning on Iconic TV. That's 15.10. And I want to thank Iconic. They had their award ceremony last Friday. Friday or Saturday. I'm getting old. I don't remember all those days, but I'm sure Jalea will tell me. But it was a great event on it. They had a lot of people there. There were a lot of young people doing a lot of great things in this city who won awards. They were giving awards from business to actors and musicians and people who are doing great things for nonprofits. All of that was being given out by Iconic Awards, and it was a great event. And by the way, that rolls me into my next thought process. They did it all at the Buffalo Soldier National Museum. They rented event space there, and it was just a beautiful event. And when I walked into the room, I'm like, wow, they really went all out to make the Iconic Awards. And I want to thank Jalea and Crystal for allowing me to be there. The numbers again, 281-837-2222, 281-837-2222. We've been going over insurance because I've had a lot of emails in regards to insurance, and a lot of you guys now are getting into the home buying season. Insurance is important. Remember that your monthly payment is going to be fixed with a fixed interest rate. What's going to vary in that monthly payment are your taxes and insurance. And most of you who are listening and watching me on Saturday morning, you guys pay no attention to your homeowner's policy when it comes up for renewal every year. I just happened to look at mine when it came in, and I'm like, oh, they ain't gone up $1,000 on my homeowner's policy. So you know right now I am looking for new insurance on it, and I've gotten some quotes. Trying to determine, like I said, the best policy is an HOB policy. The next best one is HO3. But if you can put some endorsements and get it up to an HOB if that's what you want. The reason you want to make sure that you have sudden water coverage, sudden water damage, if your child on the second floor leaves the water running, it comes over. A lot of you now guys are taking care of your parents at home. What if your parents who may have dementia turns the water on, lets it run? You want to make sure you have sudden water coverage at your home. If your house is caught on fire, you want to make sure that everything is replaceable there. Numbers again, 281-837-2222. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back with the Real Estate Corner. My name is Shad Bogany. I'm here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15, giving you the skinny on what's happening in the real estate industry. We'll be right back with the Real Estate Corner. Welcome back to the Real Estate Corner. My name is Shad Bogany. I'm here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15 talking real estate, and we've been talking about insurance tonight. Let me give you the numbers, 281-837-2222. That's 281-837-2222. Please give me a call. All our lines are open. We are having a little technical difficulty, but we should be able to make this work. Numbers again, 281-837-2222. Also, if you're looking for a title company and you want somebody to take care of business, give American Title a call. Charlene Clancy and her crew. That is 5802 Val Verde. There are lots of American Titles around town, but the one that I use and I hold out as having the best service in town is Charlene Clancy at 5802 Val Verde. Her number is 713-784-0006. A lot of you guys are taking time right now and getting your home refinanced. Interest rates are low. I had a client call me today. He said, Shad, I just locked in at 3.1%. I just locked in my rate at 3.1%. And so I don't think I've ever sold a house with a rate that low, 3.1%. And I've been doing this for many, many years. But rates are low, so if you're thinking about refinancing your home, give Charlene a call. Her number is 713-784-0006. Tell her you heard it on the Real Estate Corner, and she will be more than happy to help you. So guys, let's talk a little bit about home policies from a standpoint, replacement costs or actual cash value. Most homeowners' insurance policies pay to repair or rebuild your home based on the current cost. This is called replacement coverage, but some policies base a less based on the age and condition of your home. This is called depreciation. This is called actual cash value equal depreciation. Policies with actual cash value coverage costs less, but they are also pay less when you have a claim. Knowing the difference can help you buy the right insurance in regards to that. So if you're getting a really cheap insurance and somebody's been knocking on your grandmother, your aunt's door and says you got coverage, you need to really look at that policy. How does it affect the claim payment? So I'm going to give you guys an example with this, and so hopefully this will help you. Let's look at how insurance will pay for roof damage depending on the type of coverage you have. The house in these examples are insured for $200,000 with a 2% deductible, which would mean that your deductible would be $4,000. The entire roof was damaged by storm, and insurance covers that. The value of your house and amount of your deductible may be a little bit different. Replacement costs, if your cost is $10,000 to replace the roof, the replacement cost value will pay the same amount no matter how old the roof is. So if the cost to replace your roof is $10,000 and you have a deductible of 2% based on a $200,000 house, then it's going to cost you $6,000 out of your pocket. $4,000 out of your pocket because the insurance company is going to pay the policy at $6,000. So that's how that works. So your deductible is taken from whatever the insurance bid is. So let's go and look at the actual cash value coverage. The actual cash value coverage. If it costs $10,000 to replace the roof, the amount of the actual cash value policy may depend on the old roof. So if your old roof is 5 years old, it may be $8,500. If your old roof is 10 years old, they may pay only $7,000. If your old roof is 20 years old, they may pay only $4,000. Minus your deductible, your policy would be paying $4,500 on the 5-year roof, $3,000 on your 10-year roof, and your 20-year roof, it won't pay anything because you still have the deductible even though it's based on the cash value of the policy. This is really, really important. Now, I say many years ago, but a few years ago when I was shopping my insurance around, and I won't say which company I ended up going with, but they had a great rating. And they told me, Mr. Bargany, we can't insure your roof because it's over so many years. I'm like, really? They said, yeah, we can't do it. So my question to them was, if my house burned down, will you put a new roof on it? Yes, we will. So if I have some shingles blown off my roof, you won't do that. Or if I get a leak from my roof, you won't do that. No, they won't. So I decided to go with that policy because the main thing to me is that if a hurricane comes in and blows my roof off my house, I want to make sure that they will put a new roof on my home. And they would do that based on that scenario. So if I had a leak in my house, I'd pay it out of my pocket. Well, keep in mind that some of your cost, where the deductible is high, we're using an example of $200,000 and a 2% deductible. Think about it. Well, most roof leaks or roof repairs are not going to be $4,000. So I decided to go with the cash value on my roof, and not insure my roof at all because it kept my policy costs down. All I wanted to make sure that if my roof got blown off or my house burned down, they would still put a new roof on my house, and they told me they would. It was coverage. So it's so important, guys, to take the time and look at your policy, sit down with your insurance agent and go over that policy and make sure that you have this information there and be able to get things done. The other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about, so I did a lot of research today for the show. What if my insurance isn't paying enough? How do I deal with that? So I did have a policy. I did have something go wrong, but I don't think the insurance company is being fair with me. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Texas Windstorm Insurance Association. TWIA, as it's well known, and TWIA is insured by the Texas Department of Insurance. TWIA, if you disagree with an adjuster final value on your house, tell the company why. The company may have overlooked something and make adjustments. Make sure you send any supporting documentation, such as contractors, repairs. If you still disagree, you have several other options. Demand an appraisal. The appraisal process begins when you and the company hire each an appraiser. These two appraisers then choose a third appraiser as an umpire. Your appraiser and the company's appraiser makes their own estimates based on your loss. If you are different, the umpire makes the final decision, which is binding both you and the company. You are responsible for the expenses of the appraiser you hire and half of the umpire's expenses. Check your policy for any deadlines to demand an appraisal. File a complaint. If you think the insurance company you treated unfairly, you can file a complaint with the Texas Department of Insurance. More options: some people hire a public insurance adjuster. If they disagree with a number or type of damage listed by the insurance company's adjuster, a public adjuster, unlike the company's adjuster who's looking out for the company, your adjuster is looking out for you. And before you hire a public adjuster, make sure you understand you will have to pay them in that process. And that's based on if you have a complaint with TWIA. If you have a complaint on your flood insurance, and let me give you one caveat about flood insurance. Most people, when they get flood insurance, they never think about the content. The only thing they think about is the house being flooded, all that. Keep in mind, sheetrock, drywall, all that stuff eventually dry out. Those electronics, those computers, those cars, you need to make sure you have enough coverage to cover all your content. And with electronics being such a big part of our lives today, you want to make sure that you have content coverage, not just dwelling coverage. And a lot of times people trying to cut back on costs drops the content coverage. You want to make sure you have content coverage. I can't stress that even more. But if you receive a denial on part of your claim on flood insurance with the National Flood Insurance Program, visit the unsatisfied with your claim payment. This is a section on floodsmart.gov website. Go to floodsmart.gov website, and on that you'll see unsatisfied with your claim payment. And at that point, you request an appeal, an appraisal, and any other options that are due to you based on that. So let me give that website out again. That's called FloodSmart website. And make sure that you tell them floodsmart.gov and go to the section that's called unsatisfied with your claim payment. We had an off-the-air question. Inherit a home 20 years ago, now want to purchase a new home. Will it qualify for a first-time home buyer? Well, if you are writing taxes off on your tax form, if you are claiming anything on that house and that shows up on your tax form, you will not qualify for a first-time home buyer deal. And in most cases, you're not going to qualify for them at all. But I have seen occasionally somebody had a house that was paid for. They never wrote taxes off. They never did anything. And they were able to take advantage of a first-time home buyer program. They've gotten real tight on those regulations today. And so they've gotten extremely tight on those because there's been so much fraud out there. And so I'm just encouraging you to do the right thing. If you're thinking about buying a house, you might want to ask the lender that you're working with and ask them to see if they can determine whether or not you would qualify, because you may not have ever claimed anything on that house on your tax rolls. So you might want to talk with the lender. It is so important to pick the right lender. I say this over and over again. When you're getting ready to buy a house, you put a team together. Your quarterback is your realtor. Then you put your inspector. then you put your lender on, then you put the title company on. But the realtor, if he's a real professional, or she, is the quarterback. Numbers again, 281-837-2222, 281-837-2222. I think I've hit all my claims of how you get claims, and if you have problems on that, getting something claimed, you just go, and if you want more information, go to the Texas Department of Insurance website and go to that website, guys, and look up. Do your homework. Do your homework. And the information I've given to you tonight, most realtors are not going to even be anywhere close to giving you this much information. They may give you 3 insurance companies and tell you to pick. But with the Shad Bargaining team, I have nothing to sell you but service. And my job is to help you with the right insurance company. I help you with the right, even try to help you get the right utility company, especially electrical. Just, try to be a concierge of service. That's what we try to do. Try to help you. I have even clients calling me about who to use for lawn work, who to use for painting. Shad, I'm doing some handyman work. Can you recommend somebody? And we try to do that because we want to be your one stop on it. And we don't do mortgage loans, but we know them quite well and we know where to send you in that process. So if you're looking for a realtor, feel free to call us at 713-667-1000. If you miss a show, you can also catch us on YouTube. Please subscribe to the Real Estate Corner YouTube channel. We have all sorts of we have wealth of information on that show. But if you missed the show, you can go and catch that, from reverse mortgages to where the market is, what's happening in the history of Houston, how appraisals are done. We have all sorts of shows there on that show. And just basically go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to Shad Bargaining, Real Estate Corner. You can look it up through the Real Estate Corner. I think that's how we have it labeled. And you'll see a wealth of videos and stories that we've done over the years. I also want to take the time to thank the Houston Black Real Estate Association. They loaded up about 40 realtors and realtors this Saturday and brought them around about 10 African-American builders who are building around Houston. And it took a tour through all these homes. And this was an opportunity for realtors and realtors to see the quality and excellence of some of these builders that are being built. I want to thank them for coming through Independent Heights. I want to thank you for seeing the quality that Hatteras Homes does when he builds houses, and seeing our product out there. And I think our product will rival any product in Independent Heights. And in most cases, for what we give you, we're cheaper than everybody else when you put a pencil to it. So I want to thank them for coming by, just visiting our homes, seeing the quality of the work that we do. We represent Hatteras Homes there. And I just want to thank you guys for just coming by and seeing us. The numbers again, 281-837-2222. We've got in our last segment of the show, and I just wanted to reach out to you and make sure that you come in. I want to also talk a little bit about our feature home of the week. And I want to take the time to welcome, while we're getting my iPad up and running, I want to take the time to welcome Greg White to our team. Greg used to be a loan officer, and so he knows a whole lot about mortgages, but he's decided he wanted to come to the lighter side of things, and the lighter side of things is the selling and homes and helping people dreams come true in that process and having a little bit more control over his situation. The numbers again, 281-837-2222. So Greg, I want to thank you for coming on, and I think you're going to be a huge asset to the Shad Bargaining team as we move forward. Numbers again, 281-837-2222, 281-837-2222. We are going to give you our feature home of the week. We've got a property located at 2811 Dennis Street. Now, a lot of you people always, I say a lot of you people, but what I meant, A lot of investors call us looking for a unit, and they wanting duplexes and triplexes. Houston doesn't have a whole lot, but we have this triplex down in 3rd Ward at 2811 Dennis. You can walk to the rail from it. There are 3 units there, 2 one-bedroom units and a 3-bedroom on the 2nd floor. Property was built in 1930, does need to be updated. It's 6,100 square feet lot, and the reason I mention the lot, because that's real important on the lot size. It's really important because you could actually put another property behind it. You could actually build you a couple of tiny homes and build you a nice little rental area there for rent. The unit is getting $900 on the 3-bedroom, 1-bath, and on the 1-bedroom, 1-bath is getting $600. And all these units are all bills paid in these units. This unit does need to be updated, but if it's about location, and I've always been taught real estate is always about location. Well, this is an opportunity for you to see a location, and at 2811 Dennis, and it's listed for $245,000. $245,000. That is my feature home of the week. And the lots over there that size are going about 160. So what would you have to do as an investor? Update it. And you probably could get a little bit more money for it, but you got a really nice size lot because you could actually put another unit behind it. Numbers again, 281-837-2222. All our lines are open. You want to get in and give us a call. I apologize this evening for the technical difficulties that we're having. I've got to be able to fix it. It's driving me up a wall that I'm having some difficulty here with it. Tomorrow, I get an opportunity to fly out to LA. I am going to be speaking at the California MLS meeting in regards to the policy of no pocket listings. We call it the clear proposal. I'm going to be speaking out there this coming Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday. I go out there to speak on this policy. And if you're not familiar with it, it's about pocket listings. Pocket listings is that I've just listed your home. I've convinced you not to put it in MLS for a couple of weeks and see if we can get an investor to buy it or somebody to buy it when you don't have to show it to anyone. In most cases, you're going to get less money for your house. In most cases, I am not doing my due diligence in making sure that I get you the highest and best price for your home because only a limited number of people saw the home. And so my role as a realtor is to make sure that I maximize your equity for you in that process. And so this new rule for MLS called Clear Policy 8.0 is across the country. We are seeing different, it's a new rule. Everybody's kind of adjusting to it. Now, the thing is, the moment, and this is the key to this new rule, the moment I post it on Facebook, I have to put it in MLS, and I have 1 day to do it. So the moment it's public facing, I have to put it in MLS, and the moment it goes out to the public. If I put a flyer in my window at my office, I would have to put it in MLS. Now, some of you says, well, Shad, I like my privacy. I don't want anybody to even know that I've got my property for sale. Yes, there are some situations, but that's not normal situations. But yes, there are going to be some times there. Well, when that time comes and you want that exclusivity, we have what we call office exclusives, where the property itself is not, I can tell everybody in my office about it. So everybody in my office knows about it. And so we can start trying to sell it for you just in our office. So that's called an office exclusive. So that is your out to be able to get that done. And so either way, if it's not out on the market and only a few people know about it, you're going to take less money in the long run in the process because nobody knows about your house. Numbers again, 281-837-2222. We've got a few more minutes left in the show. And I wanted to kind of go over the FAIR policy, insurance policy. Remember I talked about the Texas FAIR plan when I started the show? And the Texas Fair Plan is, and I wanted to kind of give you a summary of descriptions of the Texas Fair Plan. You use the Texas Fair Plan when you can't get insurance any other way. Now, I will tell you some of the big box insurance, and I'm not going to call any names, when they decide not to write insurance in a certain area because they've got so many policies, and their agent wants to keep you in the business, keep you as a customer, because you may have other insurances with him or the capability of having other insurance with you, they put you in the Texas Fair Plan. And that's not the best plan for you. But they can't write it any other way but in the Texas Fair Plan. So you might want to shop around there at that end. So let's get right into it. In the event or any conflict between the summary and the terms of the policy that takes precedence, the Texas Fair Plan Association provides a limited policy called TFPA homeowners policy, TFPA dwelling policy, TFPA condominium policy, and a TFPA tenant policy. The policies include dwelling coverage, homeowners dwelling coverage. The policies provide actual cash value coverage on your dwelling or outbuildings. Actual cash value is replacement cost minus depreciation. That's why you don't want this policy. The homeowner's policy may be endorsed to provide replacement costs. Replacement cost is what you pay to rebuild based on the current construction cost. Replacement cost is a little bit different from market value. It does not include the value of your land. To be eligible for replacement costs, you must insure your dwelling for 100% of the replacement cost value. If it's time of loss, your home insured of less than 80% of the full replacement value, TFPA may only pay part of the loss. So the Fair Plan will allow you to get replacement costs, but you've got to get it for the full value for that. A regular insurance policy a lot of times will allow you to insure for 80% of the replacement value and still rebuild your house. But as I said in the beginning of the show, unless you have a wood frame house and it's got hardy plank or it's got brick on it, more than likely something's going to be saved there, so it won't be 100% loss. Let's go over to personal property coverage. Policies provide actual cash value for household contents such as clothing, furniture. The homeowner policy automatically provides coverage amount of equal to 50% of the dwelling among insurance. This means if your insurance for if you're insured for a dwelling of $100,000, its contents are only insured up for $50,000. Increased personal coverage up to 60 to 70% of the dwelling amount of insurance is available for additional premium charge. Condominium policy, tenant policy, provides coverage for content and selected items in a maximum of up to $500,000. One of the things that we didn't talk a lot about was condominium policy in our earlier segments. And I'll be real brief there on the earlier segments, but I wanted to share this with you. If you're in a condo, normally it's a blanket policy that covers all the condominiums in your complex, but it only covers exterior. So if your house burned, if the condominiums catch on fire, it's only going to build back the exterior. Doesn't cover content, doesn't cover rebuilding the inside. That's why you may want to get another condominium policy to cover your content. And if your neighbor upstairs with his condo let his water run over and it goes down to your place, it's not going to be covered in your blanket policy. You better hope that you got coverage or the neighbor upstairs from you have coverage on that end. For additional premium costs, homeowners, condominium, tenant policies may provide replacement cost value for your personal properties. It is not available for dwelling policies. If a burglar steals your 6-year-old TV set with actual cash value, coverage your claim, payment would be based on the cost to replace that TV set with minus depreciation and your deductible. With replacement costs, the claim Payment would be based on the cost of the replacement of the TV with the new set similar to one stolen, minus your deductible. So those are some of the coverages. You can get it, but you got to pay a premium there for it on that end. So keep in mind, personal liability you can get done there, medical payments you can get there, you can get dwellings up to $1 million maximum value, other structures 10% of dwelling coverage, personal property 50, 60, 70% of dwelling coverage amount, option up to 50% on dwelling coverage of your dwelling. Liability could range anywhere between $100,000 to a $300,000 limit. Medical payments, $5,000 to $25,000 per occurrence. Loss of use, 10 to 20%. You don't want a Texas Fair Plan. You want a regular policy on that end, a regular policy. Now, some of you investors who are out rehabbing property, you might want to get a policy that covers you during construction. So if somebody puts a nail through their foot or drops something on their foot or their hand, you're going to be covered. Or just happen, it burns down, or we get a hurricane or rain comes in, you might want to make sure that you get that covered under that policy. Guys, I want to thank you for listening to the Real Estate Corner. Despite our difficulties tonight, I appreciate you listening, and thank you over at Iconic TV once again last Saturday night. Last week was a great, 2 weeks ago was a great show that you guys put on. The Buffalo Soldier Museum. Guys, Black History with the Buffalo Soldier Museum is every day, every month. Yes, we just finished. I got a chance to meet Dr. Lonnie Jones, a guy who did the Super Soaker. This guy is super smart, and all the things that he's inventing, working on batteries, he has over 100 patents. And it was nice to see him come and share that information with us. Now, I know when he started doing his charts and graphs, he's an engineer. He doesn't know how to make it fun, but he tried. The bottom line is that this man is super smart, and maybe one day with his knowledge, we'll be able to get an electric car and go all the way across America without charging your battery till you get on from West Coast to East Coast. You charge it on the East Coast or vice versa. Guys, thanks again for listening to the Real Estate Corner. My name is Shad Bogany. Give me a call at 713-667-1000. I am a broker associate with Better Homes and Gardens, Gary Green. And this year we were one of their Silver Award winners based on our production with the company. We're still one of their top teams in Better Homes and Gardens, Gary Green. And the only thing that I can promise you, that when better is possible, good is not enough. And I'll see you next week on the Real Estate Corner.